So boom, you probably have been seeing all over social media about the envelope method. But I'm going to describe a different type of envelope method that you probably have done, your parents have done, or you have seen done at your workplace. Think about it. You about the Thursday or the day before you get paid, you see somebody, you probably done this, randomly grab a envelope and on the back of it, you're writing this: due date, who you're paying to, how much is due, and if you got to split it between one check or two. So this is a different type of envelope method, which you're pretty much are planning your paycheck. And a key aspect of financial planning is for you to plan your money. But when it comes to financial planning, people either think that is for the affluent, meaning people that have over $500,000 in assets, or for the one percenters. But yet with me, my company is geared towards people who can't even save $500 with an emergency fund. My name is Nadia. I'm a financial planner as well as an educator. Help people understand their wallet, how to build their wealth. But in this video, we're going to talk about planning your paycheck. And my boy said we just got paid Friday night. Clubs is jumping, but the clubhouse is probably where I'm jumping to. In this video, I want to take the paycheck scaries out of it all because they're funny and you need to funnel what's going on with it so you can actually plan it. That's the thing, is that people don't see financial planning in the basic aspects of it all, such as the budgeting, the saving, the investing, the having fun. That is what I am here to do as far as the content, as far as my financial planning company, is to show you that your basics still builds big over time. So within this video, we're going to talk about 3 key areas. The first one is going to be your payday prep. Like before that check stub enters the HR platform that you utilize, that you can already know what is your money, where's your money, what are you doing. Then the next area is pretty much going through your split whenever your paycheck hits. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring this out, is because you need to know not only who you owe, but also where does your money flow. And we're going to talk about in that area. The last area is going to be you have the tactical plan. So how are you going to track it? And I think when it comes to budgeting, no matter if it's your paycheck or just budgeting in general, which technically they go hand in hand, is that we really don't really set a plan or a pace to understand if you're hitting those goals. So when it comes to financial planning, one of the areas that people oftentimes gets it kind of a little bit jaded is that I don't even have a financial plan. I only make I don't make over the 1% or what, the 250K or the 400K, that you don't care if you get paid 40,000, 20,000, 10,000 or whatever. You still need to have a plan for your money. And that's the thing that I am gearing myself to do, is to give you a plan for the money that you have, build a better plan, build some things in motion for the money that you're going to have later, and then even build enough systems for your generations that come behind you. I don't care if you want kids, you have kids, you don't have kids, you got grandkids, you got your auntie, all them, uncle, whatever, that you're still setting the precedence for your money or your paper. So if you hear me on this video or any video coming after this, is that when I say paper, that still means your money. So within this video, we're going to go ahead and start with the payday prep. So when it comes to that, you probably heard me say the infamous thing on this channel is what? Audit your wallet. So when it comes to this aspect of audit your wallet, I want you to pull all your information. You have to pull your information to know where your coordinates are, so you're also budgeting for the life that you want. So let's go into how you're going to split up that paycheck. The first thing is pay yourself first. I'm sure you've been hearing people tell you to pay yourself first. I'm trying to put me first, Lucius. This is, I use a lot of puns. But the thing around paying yourself first is that it can be whatever it looks like for you. Though it could either be a portion of your paycheck going towards your savings or your investing, or something with a little bit of a both. And oftentimes people tell you to start small, which I tell you to do, whether it's 5% or 10% of your paycheck. And you're probably looking like, well, the bills is already built, I'm pulling from it, so how can I build for the future or my savings? I don't care if it's 5%, I don't care if it's 2%, but I want you to start practicing paying yourself first. So the thing I want you to set when it comes to paying yourself first is that what area do you want to start doing this in? Could it be for you to start investing into a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA that you take 2% or of your paycheck, or let's just say 5. So you got 5% of your paycheck and you're trying to do this split. So you're going to take 2.5% of that, I know, and move it over to a Roth IRA to either buy index funds or other kind of stocks or bonds that you're looking at. And you're going to take the other 2.5 and put it into a high yield savings account for your emergency fund or sinking fund or something of the sort. The thing I want you to do is to start figuring out what these things look like for you. You might see them on social media and like, what the hell does this mean? So how do I layer that down to how it plays out in my wallet? So if you're able to do the 2%, great. If you're able to do the 5%, great. If you're able to do the 10%. But this is going to take you going to doing the pre-work that we just talked about, with you looking at your money to see what current bills you have right now, what current expenses that you have right now. What are your paycheck looking like, and where can you start moving that money? So even if you start at the 1%, 2% range, then I want you to gradually move up over probably the next 3 to 6 months, every quarter that you move that percentage up for paying yourself. If you don't able to find a way to pay yourself, you're going to play yourself down the line. Meaning whenever you need that emergency fund, you're not going to have anything. Whenever you need that retirement fund, you're not going to have anything. So pay yourself with what you currently have and bump it up over the next couple of months. Then next, we're going to go over to looking at those bills. We're going to conquer those bills. So with this paycheck, I want you to look at when your paycheck falls. Do you fall on this date, whatever. Then I want you to pull back and look at your bills. When your bills are due. If you're noticing that you get paid on the 15th, but a lot of your bills is bunkering up on the forefront of the month, and you don't have enough paycheck at the end of the month to handle it or to allocate towards that, call your creditors and say, can you move it to this date? Can you move it to that? Whenever you do that, be mindful and ask them if there are any fees that can come with you reassigning your pay date to another date to make it more comparable for you, less fees, late fees, or whatever. So you have to have this conversation with yourself, your wallet, as well as with your creditor. The next thing I want you to do is to budget for living. I know that the cost of living is making it hard to live, but we have to start trying to budget as much as we can for life. I want you to get a realistic look at what it takes for your life to run. And no matter if it's from groceries to gas to going out, what do you usually spend on key things? And then within your paycheck, you're going to look to see, okay, this is how much from this paycheck that I can allocate towards this thing. No matter if it's getting your hair done, no matter if it's going to Target, or no matter if it's going to Starbucks, no matter if it's getting your car service or anything like that, is that you're going back to looking at your bills, to looking at your paycheck, and to determine what things are going to fall within the reality of your life costs that can align to it. So I know it goes back to reviewing your stuff from the last 3 months to give you a good precedent or a preview of what's to come. But if you're noticing that, hey, I want to go out to eat, I've talked about this in the previous video, is to set this kind of stair step. I'm going to keep introducing this to you. From $0 to $25, this is what you can do. From $26 to $60, this is what you can do. And if it's from $60 or above, this is what you can do. So if you find that you're having within your paycheck that you only have this much, allow for you to go out, so you go have fun, for you to get your hair done, for you to have this, you set the stair steps for it. So say, for instance, for me, when I know that when I was getting my hair done besides braids, is that I know that I only have this much amount of money to get my hair done this month. So what kind of service can I get? Can I get the full install? Can I get the update? Can I get the tighten? Or how long I'm going to have to stretch this out? So it's about getting a realistic feel of your money to see when it comes to your paycheck and how it aligns to your budget. And just keeping it real with yourself. And sometimes you might have to become a kitchen beautician, or you might have to learn how to do things on your own, or you might have to go to a beauty college. Maybe you have to you just have to find a way to live your life. No matter if it's within your budget or if it's with some kind of thing out externally, that you got to do what you got to do with what you have with your money. So just being realistic, seeing the reality of what you have, what's going on, and then figuring out how to move the pieces of the puzzle to make sure it fits with your paycheck. The next one is for you. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, just get realistic with your reality of your money and your revenue streams. So a little thing is that if you're noticing that you need to get paid more, I understand this is probably some people's reality, and honestly, I'm that kind of person that's going to call it out. There's YouTube University. There's Udemy. Anything like that. TikTok tells you how to do things. Look at what the job that you want and the skill sets that they're calling for, and you go start learning that thing for free, and then you start doing get transferable skills over so you can go ahead and get more money. I know the economy is kind of rough right now, so looking into skill side hustles, freelancing, or anything like that, just understanding what your budget is, how much paycheck do you have, how much bills and expenses do you have, and determining what do you have to do, how do you have to math. So it is probably asking for money, more money at your job. It might have to be side hustling. It might have to be finding a different way for you to still have things that you like. You might have to find a different cost effective method, but it's about getting realistic with your money and then finding out you get realistic with your money, then you try to figure out the reprieve on how to actually align to it. So you might have to scale back a little bit on things until you're able to scale up. So going back to understanding your realistic costs for your living and then just aligning to that. You remember at the top of this video, I said that you not only have to make a plan, but actually plan it, not panic. The last video I talked about, one of the last videos I talked about was planning it, not panicking. But when it comes to setting a financial plan for your paycheck or planning your paycheck, that you have to not only track set the plan, track the plan, and review it every so often. The way that you can do that is no matter if you're utilizing a budgeting app like YNAB, I did it right, or YNAB, Monarch Money, Empower, Quicken. I have a whole video talking about some of the top financial apps that I'm loving, as well as a blog post. No matter if you're using the budget apps or you're using spreadsheets or you're using a pen and pad, I'm going to say this, you have to write it out, make it plain, write it out, make it plain, then figuring out the method or the word you're using to keep track of it, to set the plan and then keep track of it. So you might be saying, okay, I'm going to use Monarch Money. I don't know why I keep bringing up Monarch Money. Maybe I want them to sponsor or something. But you're going to go, before you go into Monarch Money, before you go into YNAB, before you go into a spreadsheet, before you get on your mama's nerves, but you need to go and write down all your bills. You need pen and pad, write it out, make it plain. Write it all out. Then you need to go look at your paycheck. Like, what? And then you go ahead and your paycheck and you look at the plans or the other things that's going to pull at your budget for the month. And then you're going to say, okay, let me go ahead and plug and play in this spreadsheet. Let me go ahead and look at Monarch Money and then do that. Before you go utilizing a budget app or anything of that nature, you need to write your money out. You need to get intentional with your money, and the way that you can do that sometimes is, especially if you're starting out, getting your budget and your financial planning, paycheck planning in order. You have to write the vision and make it plain. And before you even go to do all the apps and things, you're going to have to do that. Have to get real with yourself, and you're setting the tone for your money. So you have to track your money, you track your stacks, and to know what works for you. If you're getting an app that you don't like, maybe you switch it up to a spreadsheet. I might link a spreadsheet that I'm loving right now down in the description bar. So you track your expenses throughout the month. So you got a budget, right? You got that paycheck plan. You know, this was going to do it, this paycheck right here. But on the next paycheck, I'm going to do this. You already got an idea. We set the tone, right? So now you need to track it. That's the thing when it comes to budget, is that people say, oh, I'm going to set the budget at the beginning of the month. But by the 15th, you looking like you going dry. So you need to understand and go back to your past to understand the path or the pathway for your money for that month and that paycheck. So you can go look at your last statement from January or from March to say, hey, by the 15th of this month or by the 20th of this month or the 10th of this month, roughly 50% of my money is gone. If you're not able to look at your past to position your present, you're going to have a pitiful future. So it's not going to be pitiful, but we're going to have to work through it. But I want you to go and look at your bank statements, your credit card statements, and say, okay, by the time I got to this date right here, most of my money is gone. It's a little tough. I usually know for me, by the 10th or by the 15th, it used to be the 10th, but by the 15th, I need to go ahead and look if I need to tighten my budget up. So you need to find that midpoint with your money. So it might be the 15th. It might be the 20th. You need to say, okay, this is how my paychecks fall. This is how my bills fall. But I need to be a little bit more cognizant on my expenses around these dates, because I might need to draw it back a bit. But if you're noticing that you draw the back, and you got a little bit more, you could probably push it up. So you could probably save in your high yield savings account more. You probably can invest it within your IRA, or you can do something else. So I want you to find that midpoint of your money, and the way for you to do so is to go back and look at your receipts and your track record to say, this is what I usually do around this time of the month. And maybe it's a month like March, maybe it's a month like August, depending on when you're watching this. This is how my months usually fall on in the flows of it, and this is how I need to funnel my money better. So when you understand that on this certain day that your money gonna look a little funny, you might need to look at your budget to say, hey, I need to punch it up or draw it back. And that's how you're gonna be able to, that's why you need to be able to track your money. You just don't set the plan, you need to understand the pace so you can be in a better position with your money throughout the month. Got it? Cool. I'm not keep using all the hand stuff like that. But you have to compare your spending towards your budget, towards your paycheck. When you understand all of those three things, or they're like step kids, you have to find a synergy within that. And when you find a synergy within that, it comes with your routine. And oftentimes you have to utilize your routine based upon doing. And whenever you're able to do that, you're able to adjust things as needed. It's like the Rubik's Cube of things. You're able to adjust it as you need. But I don't want you to, as you're setting all these things up with your paycheck, that you forget your debt. I know. Debt. You're probably like, damn. I know. I'm bad. You got to call a spade a spade. You got to call, I'm going to say it was spade a spade. You have to call it a thing. So if you're knowing that you're paying off debt, you're doing the snowball method, you're doing the avalanche method. More people go towards snowball and avalanche, but anyway. So if you're doing the snowball method, and you know in this month right here, I can the minimal due is $30, but I'm going ahead within my budget, within my paycheck, I'm able to do $50. So you're gonna do that. I'd rather you do some than you do none when it comes to not only your bills, your debt, but just all of it. Do some, do the most. You do the most with your lesser, so you can be able to punch it up. So I don't want you to forget your debt. You're paying it, whether you're paying it down aggressively or if you're trying to be the tortoise to the hair of it all, that you need to understand what your debt is. So the same way that I tell you to pull your receipts when it comes to your bills and what have you been paying in the past, I want you to pull your receipts when it comes to your debt. When you understand where you are with your debt, you're able to delegate that within your paycheck and within your budget as much as you can. And if you have to use hardship programs, if you have to set up payment arrangements, do what you have to do with what you can do. Okay? And let's breathe. The next last part of it all, I want you to stay on freaking track with it. You know, I've already talked about this since you're setting the plan for your paycheck, but you have to understand the pace and the position to make sure you're staying within the guardrails or the planning that you have for it all. So I want you to not only check when you're checking, when you know the check is coming in or you're getting ready to go to checkout. I want you to not only check on what's going on with your paycheck planning, but I want you to go on to look what's going on with those actual products that you have. So I don't want you to say, oh, I got a checking account with this or whatever, but how are you using that checking account? What is a checking account designated for? We're going to talk about this in another video about planning your products that you're utilizing. So the purpose of planning your paycheck is that you're able to check in with your plans throughout the month. We've already talked about that. Just want to reiterate that for you. So the next thing I want you to call out is your weekly check-ins. I know you have been probably seeing people talking about on social media is that these money meetings that you have. Child, this is when you sit down, you zone it out. It may be tough, but you have to look at what's going on with your check-in. So you check in to see every week or every so often. So if you get paid on this week, that's this date and this date that you're setting your plan for your money, probably a couple days before you get paid on either side of it, and then you're leveling up. Your budget sets the precedence. You pre-plan your paycheck before a couple days before, and then you're putting in positioning and you're debriefing throughout the month, and to see how far you're staying on track. And I want you to celebrate those wins. I know you might not be doing as good as you would love to be doing, but you're doing better than what you were doing, or you're gradually getting there. So I do want you to set and budget for any wins that you may have. I think I saw a meme that said, "Oh, I need a small treat," and that's probably how you're hurting your budget. We ain't here to pay bills and die. But anyway, some other recommendations that I have is that you should build a routine and test it out. Don't just say, oh, this is going to be the only way. Know that you have to test out the routine before you actually put it in place. So it might take you roughly 2 months to get. So I'll let you to run it for 2 months, see how you're doing, and then go ahead and implement it down the line. And as you get a bump in your paycheck, go ahead and look to see if your parameters are still solid in place. Then if you get paid every so like we just say, if you get paid 2 paychecks a month, checking with your plan for your paycheck every 2 weeks. If you get paid once a month, I know, I'm sorry. But I don't. Our reason why I want you to do this before you get paid is because when you get your paycheck, you're in gold mode. You have to take the pre-workout before you work out, and this is what planning your paycheck looks like. It's like your pre-workout. And then I want you to also check in with your empty spending, because oftentimes if you have a paycheck, you don't have, and you have a budget, and you still finding yourself in the red, and it's not because of you got more paychecks than you got more bills than money. It's probably because you're empty. You're spending on empty things like random stuff or random buying on Temu or whatever. Hell, I'm on Temu, so I'm not gonna call it out. So I want you to check in to see where your empty spending is and anything that's keeping you off pace of your plan. Okay. That's it, people, for this video. So let's just retrack a little bit, okay? So I want you to understand what's going on with your budget. Before you get to the budget, I want you to audit your wallet. And we talked about that at the top of the video. Then I want you to understand what's going on with your budget. Within your budget should outline which paycheck is going to handle what. If you are getting paid once a month, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep apologizing. So whenever you're looking at what bills are going to go to what paycheck, I want you to divvy up where you are with your financial goals. That's one thing I want to keep putting in there to say, hey, my financial goals, are you paying yourself? How are you with your bills? How are you with your debt? Where are you at? And then I want you to split it all up, to divvy it out. We're going to talk about another video about having multiple bank accounts. I'm talking so fast. Multiple bank accounts, and then how to build your money system. But then I want you to also go in throughout the month, tracking your money, understanding where your money is flowing, what's going and what's coming in. So that the reason why I'm going to reiterate this is that I want you to have a plan for your paycheck is because I want you to not only just be doing empty spending. It's okay for you to go do things for yourself every once in a while, but I want you to understand where your money is going, where it's flowing, and what could you be repositioning. Like I called out one of my short form videos, is that I don't want you to do a budget cut. I want you to do a budget correction. And whenever you're doing a budget correction, you're able to see within my paycheck, I need to move the dates around so if things don't get late. I could do auto pay on my rent, or if I move it to do this date, or I could do, you figure out the possibilities when you're understanding the positioning on the foundation of your finances. And this is the reason why I want to bring into your peripheral around planning your paycheck, is because I want us to understand the basics while we build for bigger. And that's what this channel is about. So like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section to let me know, how is your months going? How is 2024 going? How is your bills flowing? Do you have more bills than paycheck, and you trying to make it? Then let me know if you have any questions or any topics you want me to cover on this channel. This is a group chat around the economy, your budget, your wallet. And I just want us to just understand what we have, build for what we will have, and position to be the better of when it comes to your finances. Take control of not only your bank accounts, but your accountability with the bank accounts that you have. So when I say accountability, it's around how are you handling your money that you do have? How are you finding the mental wellness around your financial situation? Let's talk about it in another video. And then just how are you finding the balance to get those financial goals not only under control, but able to be seen. So let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's talk soon. That's it.